in 2 days. Wonder how the investigation's going. Let's go check in with Yelan and Shepras.
Can this launch blaster thing really shoot stuff from that far away?
It does launch and blast things, but it's actually called a ballista. And yes, it can.
But how does it stay on target?
It uses a remote guidance system. But I'll let you in on a little secret. The upgraded version doesn't even need that.
Can I give it a try?
Oh, not a chance, kid. Can't have you hurting yourself. Believe me, this thing is even more powerful than it looks. Ask me again once you're older.
Hey, Beto! What you up to?
Oh, it's you two! I was just introducing our product to these discerning young customers.
Paimon thought you were here for some, you know, fishing? Wait, are these three?
What? No, of course not. The kids were just curious, that's all.
I'm sorry. Are these three preventing you from doing business? Let me get them out of your hair. Come on. Time to go.
Oh, do we have to?
Don't sweat it. They were just curious. I'm happy to tell them more about it.
No, we've taken up enough of your time already. Neb, don't bother people when they're trying to work, okay?
Okay.
It was no bother, I swear. In fact, once the expo is over, come find me on my ship, and I'll let you see the ballista in action. How does that sound?
How much would it cost?
Not a single mora.
Really? It's a promise then, miss.
Your vessel. It's a battleship, isn't it? Are you sure you should be bringing children on board?
Why not? Whenever we're docked back in View to pick up supplies, I always let the kids around the harbor come aboard to play, and boy, do they love it. If a kid from Liyue can do it, why not a kid from Sumeru? A battleship may as well be a giant playground to them.
Is that so? I've heard that people in Liyue also turn gunpowder into explosive firecrackers and give them to children as toys. Perhaps only the kids back in your home country are lucky enough to look at a giant battleship and see a playground.
If you're worried about safety, I can...
No, I suppose I'm just envious. That's all. I'll be sure to bring them over if we get the chance.
Seems like he really cares about those kids, huh? Anyway, what did you want to talk about?
Oh, just wanted to ask how it's going with the top secret, fishing. Did you reel in the catch of the day yet?
They're circling the hook just fine. Just waiting for a bite.
Whoa! Where did you come from?
Shh.
Well, that just proves my point. Something like this would only see more use in Fontaine.
Ah, except you never find something like this for sale there. Better jump on the chance now before it's too late.
Excuse me?
He's coming this way!
Steady now.
That's mighty expensive.
Well, no one's forcing you to buy it. If you're not interested, you're free to move along.
What? Come on, there's no rule saying we can't haggle.
The Voynich Guild gets a cut of whatever I sell. Obviously, that's factored into the price. Don't like it? Take it up with them.
Listen, I can tell this is something special. If you're willing to go a bit lower, I'm prepared to cut a huge deal.
I know it's something special, so I plan on getting paid what it's worth.
Perhaps there's a way we can both get what we want then.
What are you implying?
Well, Nodcry's a big place. Surely this expo isn't the only place we can cut a deal.
Oh?
What would you say to working this out someplace else? Somewhere the guild can't get a cut?
That means no guild protection either. What will I do if you run off without paying?
Considering the giant sword you've got handy, if anyone's getting robbed, it'd be me, don't you think? Point is, we're both going out on a limb here. But the reward's worth the risk.
Fine. Name a place. As a registered participant, though, I'm too close to the guild. If we don't want them catching on, I'll need to send a proxy.
Smart thinking. Let's meet here, then.
Good. He took the bait. Let's go elsewhere to discuss our next move.
Captain Beto's hook was what got him in the end, huh? Oh, I didn't get a chance to show off how convincing I can be.
This isn't tabletop troop, Navia. In real life, persuasion takes a lot more than a dice roll.
I brought a product tailor-made for Fontaine because I thought the group's activities were limited to that area. Turns out, we're dealing with an international crime ring. So I suppose it makes sense that Captain Beto's bait was more enticing. It's a good thing we teamed up.
We wouldn't have gotten far without your intel either. Gotta ask though, how did you know these guys would be so quick to abandon the expo?
I read their file. Nothing's off the table for them when profit's on the line. When it comes down to it, they'd see the protection the expo provides as just more red tape. Something to work around rather than with. Just like the law.
So, we meet up with this guy, catch him, and problem solved, right?
No. The person we're meeting is just an underling sent to scout the situation. We're after the leader of the whole ring. And after observing the situation over the past 2 days, it's clear they have undercover agents waiting in the wings. If something happens to our point of contact, those agents will scatter to spread word of what happened, and whoever is behind this whole thing will know we're onto them.
In that case...
We have to get the jump on them all at once, and use them to get intel on our real target before he has a chance to react.
Forgive me for pointing out the obvious, though. We have nowhere near enough personnel for that. If even one of the agents escapes, it's over.
Let me guess. You'd rather follow this deal through to the end to lure out the real culprit? Nice idea, in theory. The problem is, in my experience, that person would never show their face for something like this.
I can work around that. But only as long as the deal goes ahead.
So, you're planning to trail the person picking up the goods. I suppose that could lead us to the big fish, but that would mean we have to actually hand over the weapon. Aren't you worried about putting something that dangerous in the hands of criminals?
We can control how dangerous it is. But if we followed your plan, could we really guarantee that not a single agent would get away?
You're telling me you really have a way to mitigate the threat of that weapon?
You're telling me that you really have the wherewithal to carry out a large-scale search and seizure operation in Nodcry?
Are they... having a fight?
They're both experts in this sort of thing. A lot of back and forth is to be expected.
Don't worry. I think they're getting along great.
A successful collaboration requires trust. And a willingness to make concessions. So how about this? I'll meet up with the underling as planned and stall him as long as possible. While I'm keeping him busy, you round up the rest of the agents. Sound like a plan?
Yes, I appreciate the trust. And I promise you, not a single one will get away. See? Like 2 peas in a pod.
Traveler, you should come with me to meet the buyer. After all, we promised Nefer you would be involved in all our operations.
The Traveler is kind of a famous face around these parts, though.
Then, you can serve as backup. Remain hidden, and on the off chance he tries anything, it'll be 2 against 1.
Ha! Let's do this thing!
Oh, you really can't go lower?
Best I can do is shave off the amount the guild was going to take.
You're a tough nut to crack. How do you plan to deliver the goods?
Depends on what you need. You don't look like you're from around these parts. So I'm guessing you need sea transport?
Yes, but there are a lot of eyes on the port. It would be better to dismantle the product and transport the components in crates.
That might be tricky. If you're worried about getting caught, then let's bypass the port entirely. We can launch from a secluded shoreline and use our own boat for transport.
Sorry. But I'd still prefer to have it dismantled and stored in regular crates.
Ah, I'm guessing the port of arrival is where you resell the goods? You want it hidden in unassuming cargo crates, because you operate right out in the open. Most of the weapons have come in through Yilong Wharf or Lumiduce Harbor, so that seems to check out.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. Just connecting some dots. I think we're done here.
Out of the way!
It's one of the undercover agents! He's making a break for it!
The captain of the Special Patrol will take it from here.
One just popped up. Looks like the one on the surface has been subdued. There are children around. I have to avoid bloodshed. Trying to escape? Allow me to show you the way! Nope, not this way. Had enough? Then turn around! Out of steam yet? 'Cause I can do this all day!
My leg!
Is still attached. And if you want to keep it that way, I suggest you stay right where you are.
A special patrol uniform. You think bringing me in is enough? Do you even know how many of us there are? If even one gets a...
5 at the port, 10 on the outskirts of Nasha Town, 3 near the plaza. Factoring in you and the buyer, that makes 20. Save the best for last, right?
How did you...
Don't even think about it.
Well done, everyone. We appreciate the assist. The boss sends her thanks.
It was an honor. Without the Spina's help back in the day, we never would have been able to make it in Nodcry. It was about time we returned the favor.
What? I needed to make you seem intimidating to get these local gangs on our side. We've been over this.
Yeah, I know. But hearing you call me boss will never not be hilarious.
Ugh.
Wow! Navia is something else.
Well, that explains your confidence. I had no idea the Spina di Rosula could mobilize these kinds of numbers outside of Fontaine. This Navia has quite a few tricks up her sleeve.
No trade expo rules were broken either. Even if Nefer saw it all unfold herself, we still wouldn't need to explain a thing.
Except for the guild's broken signboard, I would imagine.
It was an unavoidable sacrifice.
At any rate, I suppose the next step is to get these birds to sing. Should be an easy job. The Maison Gardiennage has a reputation for highly effective interrogation tactics.
And if that doesn't work, I've heard that spies from Liyue have their ways of making people talk as well.
Yes, that means the operation was a success, right?
So far. Once we get someone to reveal who the mastermind behind all this is, that's when the real work begins.
I'm sure that person is in hiding somewhere far removed from the expo. But as far as our deal with the curatorium goes, I think that's a wrap.
Shouldn't we update Nefer then?
First, we need to figure out what we can learn from these agents. We'll be in touch once we have the information. Then we can head to the curatorium together.
Well, that went a lot smoother than expected. Not a single one got away. You're thinking about Nefer's final request, huh? Let's see. We have 2 expert detectives from separate nations teaming up to uncover an international crime ring. That's not a bad story. If you feel like it's missing something, maybe Yelan and Chevres will uncover something more interesting during their interrogation.
Excuse me? Are you the Traveler? Yehoda needs you back at the expo venue as soon as possible.
Oh no! Did something happen?
I'm sorry, I don't know the details. All she said was that it's urgent.
Now let's get a move on!
Either I throw the guild under the bus, or I get on the bad side of a terrifying merc captain. Oh, could this get any worse? Get it together, Yehoda. Focus on the hot dog you're gonna treat yourself to after today is over. One thing at a time. All right, all right. You've got this.
Let's try not to get too worked up, all right?
Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. I swear.
What happened?
You're here. Please, you've got to help me, Traveler. A theft at the expo is gonna ruin the guild's reputation.
A theft? How did that happen?
You're asking me. The guild has people keeping watch over the storage area for this exact reason. And it just had to happen to one of the scariest people here.
Beto? Wait, that means...
The guild asked us to keep our goods stored on the designated shelves. I had a few prototypes that I was using for demonstration, which I had stored there. But when I came to check on things just now, I noticed that all of them had been stolen.
And each ballista is super dangerous. If they fall into the wrong hands...
Well, all the prototypes have a failsafe designed to prevent unauthorized use, so it could be worse. Still, we should get them back as soon as possible.
The guild will make sure of that. If you could just keep this between us for now, We would be super appreciative.
Do we have to tell her?
Honesty is the best policy. That's what he taught us.
I know, it's just...
Miss Yehoda...
What are you three doing here?
There's something you want to tell me, isn't there?
Well, Neb's been obsessed with the ballistas ever since we got here. That's why Uncle Ashfapati told us to come see your booth. It seemed like he was interested in them too, because he even told us what parameters to ask about. Ever since this morning, we haven't been able to reach him. We wanted to ask Miss Yehoda for help, but then we heard about the ballistas being stolen.
And?
I don't think Uncle Ashfapati would do something like that, but...
Ashfapati works for the guild. He has access to the storage warehouse, so he could get inside without the guards getting suspicious. Wait, so now it's an inside job? Oh, jeez! The guild is never gonna recover from this!
He made those toys the kids were selling, right? They don't look like much on the outside, but I bet they're hiding some serious tech. If he's a tech guy, those fail-safes I mentioned might not have our backs after all.
So, this just went from bad to worse.
Oh, uh-oh.
Could be. I mean, let's put it this way. There aren't a whole lot of people that could manage to stay off Yelan's radar. Why don't you take these kids to the curatorium and see what you can learn? I've got things covered here.
Got it!
Hold up. We can't hold these kids responsible, though. Right?
No, of course not, but... how do we explain this?
You want to look out for these kids, don't you?
I promised I would. Besides, they're innocent in all this.
Good, because I'm looking out for them too. That's why I want to find their uncle as soon as possible. No matter what he did or didn't do, it's worse for them if he's missing.
I guess we're on the same page then.
Take these kids to the curatorium. I'll update Yelan and tell her to meet you there.
Will do!
Well, this complicates things. Here I was hoping the trouble would start and end with you two. But no matter. This will all make for a very engaging story.
I wouldn't be so flippant. This time, it's one of yours causing trouble. I'm starting to wonder if all those agents we captured were just a distraction, so the real culprit could make their move.
It's all still up in the air right now. What can you three tell us about Ashfapati?
Uncle Ashfapati isn't our real uncle, But he is our guardian. He adopted us when we were little. He told us we all came from the same band of eremites in the desert. But apparently, we're the only ones left. We've been traveling from place to place with him for as long as I can remember. We got to Nagcry not too long ago.
Their eyes.
What about them?
I'm just reminded of something. About a decade ago, there was a band of eremites who, seemingly out of nowhere, gained technological capabilities far surpassing those of other groups. Leveraging that advantage, they built a number of highly advanced weapons and sold them to the highest bidder. The conflicts in the desert became even bloodier as a result. While the other groups were tearing each other to shreds, these newly minted arms traders stood by and reaped the spoils. But before long, their own weapons were turned against them. And as the flames of conflict engulfed the desert, the group met their end. None of the weapons survived, and so in the wake of that destruction, the status quo of the desert was restored.
That's terrible.
In the desert, it's kill or be killed. People will stop at nothing to gain the upper hand. If this happened in Fontaine or Liyue, I'm sure the perpetrators would have been prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But in the desert, no one bats an eye. From what they've told us, sounds like these kids are orphans from that particular band of eremites.
Which means their guardian is likely one of the few survivors as well.
Sounds like it.
No! Uncle Ashvapati would never do something like that! No matter what happened back then, I know one thing for sure. Uncle Ashvapati hates weapons. Sure, he's good at building things, but all he does is make toys for us to play with. He can't be the kind of person you're making him out to be. Or...
I'm sorry. All we can do is act upon the facts.
So, what's our next move?
From our interrogations, we've learned that in 2 days, the person behind all this has a meeting planned to collect the goods. If all goes well, we can head to the pickup point and ambush them. But if Ashvapati is part of this and the leader learns what happened, there's no chance he risks himself for his agents. So, that meeting might as well be moot.
Then let's focus our efforts on Ashvapati for now. If we find him, he might just lead us to our culprit. If he stole the prototypes, there's bound to be a trail. I'm confident I can track him down. I just need some time.
What can I do to help?
I work best in the shadows. The more people involved, the harder it is to operate. As soon as I've got a location, though, he's all yours. You let me handle the search, and I'll let the special patrol handle the seizure.
That does sound like the most feasible plan. I'll be waiting for the good news.
Seizure?
Hey! Don't worry too much right now. The most important thing is that we find your uncle. The rest can wait.
Okay.
Looks like I'll need to enlist your services for a bit longer, Traveler.